This is Barry Zalma speaking for Claim School Incorporated's blog, Zalma on Insurance. Today we're going to speak about a property insurance claim where the insured sought appraisal, only to find that appraisal was pointless because there was no coverage for the loss. And when a policy says building coverage is, quote, not provided, close quote, there can be no claim for the property damage to the building or for appraisal to determine the extent of the damage. Plaintiff Kota Me Patates LLC, better known as KMP, filed a motion to compel appraisal to abate an insurance coverage dispute. Defendant Nationwide Mutual Fire Insurance Company responded with a separate motion for summary judgment, asserting that the policy does not cover KMP's claimed losses. In Kota Me Patates v. Nationwide, the United States District Court for the Southern District of Texas on December 21, 2023, produced an order from the magistrate judge that recommended a resolution of the disputes that is, frankly, indisputable. KMP had a business insurance policy with Nationwide effective from January 1, 2020 until January 1, 2021. The policy states that it includes buildings, business, personal property, or both, quote, depending on whether a limit of insurance is shown in the declarations, close quote, for that type of property. The reference declarations page explicitly stated that the coverage for KMP's building is, quote, not provided in capital letters and bold print. On January 24, 2022, a year after expiration of the policy and 2 years after the loss, a representative from the office of KMP's attorney contacted Nationwide to report a claim for structural damage to KMP's property. The damage allegedly resulted from a plant explosion 2 years earlier on January 24, 2020. KMP sued Nationwide in Texas State Court. Nationwide removed the suit to the United States District Court, and in the meantime, Nationwide contacted KMP's counsel to obtain more information about KMP's claim. Eventually, KMP's attorney sent a formal notice of claim stating that KMP intended to invoke the policy's appraisal provision. Nationwide requested more information, including an opportunity to inspect the asserted damage and a sworn proof of loss. KMP failed to provide the information that Nationwide requested. Nationwide therefore denied coverage for the loss, noting that KMP failed to provide a description of how, when, and where the loss or damage occurred, did not provide prompt notice of the loss or damage, and failed to submit a signed sworn proof of loss as requested. Despite filing the suit months earlier, KMP's attorney finally sent Nationwide a demand letter on October 2, 2022, and that letter included an estimate of $92,508.92 to repair KMP's structure. KMP then filed a motion to compel appraisal and abate the suit. Nationwide instead filed a motion for summary judgment, since the only damage was to a building. Nationwide sought summary judgment on KMP's breach of contract claim on multiple grounds, including that the policy does not cover KMP's claim for damages to its building. Given the clear policy language, the court had no need to address Nationwide's alternative contentions, although there were many. The policy provides zero coverage for any damage to the building. Because Nationwide did not breach the policy by denying coverage, it is entitled to summary judgment on KMP's breach of contract claim. Nationwide also argued that KMP cannot recover on its extra-contractual claims for breach of the common law duty of good faith and fair dealing, violations of the Deceptive Trade Practices Act, and Chapters 541 and 542 of the Texas Insurance Code, common law fraud, and civil conspiracy. The USDC noted that the lack of coverage, coupled with the lack of any injury independent of policy benefits, foreclosed any extra-contractual basis for relief. Mere allegations do not constitute competent summary judgment evidence. Bare allegations that an insurer misrepresented the scope of coverage are not sufficient to show that the misrepresentation induced the purchase. The disposition of KMP's breach of contract claim defeated its request to compel appraisal. The purpose of appraisal is to resolve disputes concerning a property's value or the amount of a covered loss. Appraisal is pointless when, as here, the policy explicitly states that the loss is not covered. Nobody paid a premium for building coverage. In my opinion, the KMP claim was incompetent on many bases, not the least of which was a claim for damage to a building that the policy explicitly said in bold print that building coverage was not provided. Add to that a 2-year late report, no compliance with policy conditions, and a spurious argument for tort damages, and the magistrate apparently had no choice but to recommend granting Nationwide's motion and sending KMP and its counsel home with a total loss. Counsel for KMP apparently failed to read the declarations page of the policy, the actual first page of the thing. All they had to do was look, and they wouldn't have wasted their time and the time of the Nationwide lawyers and claims staff and the time of the court. This video was adapted from my blog, Zelma on Insurance, which is available free to anyone who clicks on the URL zelma.com/blog. You can subscribe to the blog at that URL, and if you do, you'll be given notice of every blog posting, usually 5, sometimes 6 a week. And you'll have access to the more than 4,700 blog postings. You can also subscribe to the videos on YouTube and on rumble.com. They're free. And if you do, I'd appreciate it if you click on the like button on YouTube and the thumbs up button on rumble.com. If you're interested in further detail about insurance, insurance claims, insurance law, and insurance fraud, please consider, for a very small fee, subscribing to my Substack publication. Thank you for your attention.